moved into a new house and they kept hearing noises. The mom and the dad and the child were hearing it. So eventually, one day, the dad decided to look in the attic. He didn't see anything unusual, so they just ignored it. Eventually, the parents stopped hearing the noise, but the daughter kept hearing noises. And one day, when the daughter went to bed, she thought she saw something in her room, but she just ignored it and went to bed thinking that she was just seeing shadows in the dark. But then when their parents woke up, they heard a scream and they found their daughter dead, and no one knows what happened, but they sold the house and the murderer was never caught. A 6-year-old girl got a tablet for her birthday, which she downloaded Roblox on. Her parents never really taught her well not to trust strangers and people online. She wasn't really good at the video game, and since she had no Robux, everyone kept calling her a noob, and it made her really upset. But this one guy stood up for her and helped teach her how to play the game. Before she left the game, he sent her a friend request. He told her that he gets bullied too and that she was his only friend. The girl noticed that every time she joined Roblox, he was always playing. He was always playing every day, 24/7, and she asked him how come he plays the game so much. He says because he has no friends and that he just likes to see her. He told her that his birthday was coming up and that he really wanted to meet her in real life. She said she wanted to meet him in real life too, and he told her to tell him where she lived so that they could meet up. Her, being only 6 years old, decided to tell him where she lived. Her parents woke up to a window breaking in the middle of the night, and when they looked in her room, they noticed that she was missing. They called the cops, but the cops couldn't figure out who did it, and they couldn't find the child's body. 2.5 years later, someone found her body at the bottom of a lake. A 16-year-old girl was home alone one night because her parents went out to a party. They told her not to go anywhere and to stay at the house that night since they weren't home to watch her. She didn't listen to them because she wanted to go to her friend's slumber party, so once they left, she went to go walk there herself. She brought her phone so that she could use the GPS to get there so that she wouldn't get lost. After walking for 15 minutes, it said she was at her destination, but she knew this wasn't her friend's house and it took her to some random spot. She started to get really worried because she was lost and didn't know where to go and her phone wasn't helping. She looked around, but there weren't many street signs because it took her in the middle of the woods. Then she heard noises behind her and turned around and she thought she saw someone was following her. She tried to pretend like she didn't notice and that she knew what she was doing, but the noises kept getting closer and it was obvious someone was following. She started running, trying to get out of the woods, but she heard that the person following her had started running too. She pulled out her phone and called 911, and it was ringing and then they answered. But as soon as they answered, the person caught up to her and hit her in the back of the head with the shovel. When the parents got home late that night, they noticed that their daughter wasn't there, so they tried to call her phone. When they saw that she didn't pick up, they called the cops to say that she was missing. The cops saw that she had called 911, so they tracked her phone down when she did the call. They'd see that she was in the middle of the wood, and they followed clues of broken sticks to figure out where she was. When they found her, she was still alive, and her kidnapper was arrested. This girl went to go into the lake and have a fun summer. one day with her friends. When she was playing, they tipped the canoe over and she went underwater. She accidentally breathed in a little bit of water, but it was no big deal, or so she thought. When she got home that day, she couldn't really taste anything, and her vision was blurry, and she was very confused over simple things. She went to the doctor, and they figured out that she had a brain eating thing in her. She got it from when she accidentally breathed in some of the lake water, because the lake was infected with the brain eating parasite. Her condition got worse and worse every day until she eventually died from the brain eating parasite. This one day, this kid saw on YouTube someone had hacks in Minecraft, and he wanted to get some for himself. He looked up how to get hacks in Minecraft and found a website that said it could give you hacks in Minecraft. It said you just needed to download something, so he did and set it all up. As soon as he clicked run, his computer started fanning really hard and everything was super laggy. His camera turned on and he saw that it was recording his webcam. He put a piece of tape over it and tried to play Minecraft with his new hacks. He tried to open up Minecraft, but it wasn't opening, which made him really frustrated. He thought he might have just downloaded a virus, so he tried to delete it, but it wouldn't delete. Web pages kept opening up that he didn't open, and some really gross stuff was showing, so he turned off his computer in a hurry and went to bed, and because he didn't want to get in trouble by his parents. In the middle of the night, his computer turned on and was playing videos that were really gross. He tried to turn it off, but he wasn't in control of his mouth. It eventually just shut off by itself, but he knew he had to tell his parents that something was wrong with his computer. The virus made it so that his computer wasn't usable, and it took some of his personal information. He got grounded and wasn't allowed to play video games for 3 months. A guy went over to his friend's house to have a sleepover. His friend said that he found an Ouija board and that he wanted to play it to see if they could summon any spirits. They set up the Ouija board and they asked if anyone was there. The Ouija board answered yes, and he laughed, thinking that his friend was just messing with him. Then they asked if it was a good spirit or a bad spirit, and it said it was bad. Then the friend started getting really scared and acting weirdly. Then they decided to pack it up for the day. When they went to bed that night, it was raining really badly, and lightning struck a tree that night in the house, and it fell on the house, which caught it on fire. Luckily, he escaped, but his friend wasn't so lucky. The house was completely burnt down, and he decided to never ever play a Ouija board again. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and bye!